Okay, so we're asking the question, what drives a person to pursue God? Why would someone pursue God? We've already talked about the drive for the good life, that pursuing God gives you a good life. And related to that is the second reason, the drive for the outward life, the drive for purpose. Even Aristotle taught that you can't have a good life if you don't understand what your purpose is, because there's this connection between functioning well and living well, And so if you really want to have the good life, if you really want to experience all the satisfaction, if you really want to flourish in your life, you have to understand what your purpose is. You have to understand what you were made for. And Jesus himself talked about purpose all the time. In fact, this is one of the things for me personally that drives me to pursue God, is it gives me a sense of purpose in my life. Jesus talked about this life of service that we have when we're pursuers of God. If you make your life all about yourself, I think these are the people that are most miserable at the end of their lives. People that just are all inwardly focused. All they care about is themselves. It kind of reminds me of the Scrooge, that the Scrooge character was so miserable until he opened his eyes to the people around him and began giving stuff away, right? Then he truly experienced a good life. And this is at the heart of what it means to be a Christian, a pursuer of God, is we're outwardly focused. Jesus himself in John 13, he sat down his last supper with his disciples, and he sat down and he shocked them all when he started washing their feet. One by one, he washed their feet. And back in that day, it was a humiliating thing to do that. The lowest servant would wash someone's feet. But Jesus did it because he was trying to show them what his pursuers should be all about. His pursuers should all be about purpose and service and looking outward. Look at what it says in John 13. After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and he sat down and he asked them, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you're right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet." I think about what my last dinner would have looked like. I don't think I would have been washing everyone's feet at the table, but it shows us how Jesus thought. He said, if you really want to experience a satisfactory life, if you really want to experience everything that life can offer you in a pursuit of God, that means you look outward and you serve other people. Jesus himself was willing to do it, and Jesus told his disciples, you should do it too. We have purpose and meaning in our life because we're following a man on a mission. Jesus was a man on a mission. He said, I have come to seek and save the lost. He didn't come to play golf. He didn't come to go on vacations. He didn't come to have a family. He came to seek and save the lost. And Jesus was a man on a mission. And so therefore his followers are people on a mission. And personally, as a follower of Jesus, this is what gives my life so much purpose, is to know that there's something more for me in this life. It's not go to work, come home from work, spend time with a family. That's all wonderful things. But even more fundamental than that is this sense of mission and purpose in life. Like, I have a reason to live. Jesus called his disciples. He said, you guys come follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. And he gave these average, ordinary fishermen purpose. And what I love about the Christian life, about the pursuit of God, is it gives every single Christian purpose. Christians aren't intended to just be consumers, that we go to church and we worship and we hear a sermon and we go home and we just kind of live our lives and they're just kind of ho-hum. We have purpose. We can go out just like the early disciples did and share with people the love of Christ. We can share with people the good life that Christ wants to give us, the good life that only comes through Jesus Christ and what he did for us on the cross. So the pursuit of God gives our life mission and purpose, and therefore it gives us the opportunity to truly leave a legacy, to be able to look back on our lives and say, I've left a legacy, not with the money we've left our kids or any of that kind of stuff, but with who we've shared with, our lives with, the gospel with. As a Christian, I can share my faith with people. This is what I love about the Christian life is not everyone can hit a baseball, Not everyone can make $1 million. Not everyone can be a genius. Not everyone can get a 36 on their ACT. But every single follower of Jesus can have purpose and leave a legacy in their life. Because every single person can do the most important thing that you can do in your life, which is to help someone else pursue God. Everyone can do that. So if I've helped my kids pursue God, I've left a legacy for them, because there's nothing more important in life. The next most important thing you can do to helping someone pursue God is to help someone else pursue God, is to help the next person pursue God. And I love this because everyone can do it. And this is why Jesus called fishermen to follow him. He didn't go to the seminaries and call the smartest, brightest people, no offense to the fishermen. He called fishermen because he was showing that everyone can be driven by purpose. You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most athletic. And this is a good thing, right? This is what Paul said. He said, not many of you were wise by human standards, but God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. He chose the things that were not to shame the things that are. So this is what allows us to be driven to pursue God, is every single pursuer of God can have purpose and can serve others and can have a mission in their life and can leave a legacy for the next generation. Now talk about this with your friends, with your family, with your small group. Use those resources below. And we'll see you in the next lesson to talk about being driven by this idea of eternity.